So, folks, to me, one of the most interesting climate change points is never mentioned by President Biden or any of the existential threat crowd, is just how well the U.S. has done in cutting carbon emissions in the past 20 years, or perhaps more. I mean, they just never talk about it. Don't you think that's odd? Well, they're blaming America like they always do, but since the 2005 baseline, our emissions have dropped 20% or even slightly more, and that's through the end of 2020. The Paris Climate Accord target was 25% less by 2025, so we nearly hit it 5 years early. You know why? Well, two words: natural gas. And then there's a third word: fracking. American free enterprise, private sector ingenuity and technology, adopting an old process and retooling it to generate this massive revolution in horizontal drilling and hydraulic fracturing. There was no government plan, no central planning. It came out of private enterprise. And natural gas, of course, is a clean-burning fuel, which has partly replaced both oil and coal. In fact, in the last 20 years, natural gas used in the USA has more than doubled because it's cheap, it's clean, and it's accessible through the new technology. And then the demand for liquefied natural gas, LNG, is growing exponentially all around the world. That is American LNG. It's a fabulous potential export. That is, if the Bidens would just leave it alone. And they should acknowledge how much good the nat gas fracking revolution has done for typical families really all around the globe. But they won't, because they are fact-free left-wing ideologues. What we should be doing is expanding our power base, expanding, not contracting it. The U.S. and everywhere else in the world should seek a growthier and more prosperous economy. Now, this is going to require more energy, not less. And the portfolio mix should be diversified, so-called all the above, renewables and carbons and nuclear. That is wind, solar, oil, gas, coal, hydro, and, trumpets blaring, nuclear. Everybody wants clean air and clean water. Everybody. All sensible people know we have remaining issues, and we can do better, and we have more to do. But we've already done a lot. Again, not through socialist government central planning, but through private entrepreneurial innovation and invention. Schumpeterian gales of creative destruction at work in a free economy with incentives. The far-left greenies are in complete denial about the potential successes of nuclear power, which is a pity, because the nuclear track record, even with some bad mistakes, is still very good in the long run. And, of course, the technology and safety is ever improving. But right now, look at 80% of the world's energy is carbon-based. And that's not going to change dramatically in the next 10 years or 20 years. And attempts to force radical change by somehow ending fossil fuel will create enormous economic damage to the entire world. And face it, wind and solar is not near as reliable as nat gas and nuclear. Face it. The existential threat is a Biden-esque attempt to kill fossil fuels. And that will destroy the American economy. It will totally impoverish the middle class and the poor, all of whom need cheap and plentiful power. And that's why this climate change idiocy is a laughingstock. I mean, Putin and Xi aren't even going to Scotland. The G20 couldn't make a deal. China's biggest power source is coal. Russia is oil and gas. India is a huge polluter. The African subcontinent is not going to rely on wind and solar when they have plenty of oil and gas and coal available. Nor should U.S. leaders allow less developed countries to shake down the large economies for hundreds of billions of dollars of government-to-government foreign aid in the name of climate change, which will be completely abused. Trust me, count on it. The G20 and other world leaders should be emphasizing growth and prosperity. That means more power. That means lower taxes, that means fewer regulations. But the fact is, in just recent days, these meetings in Rome and Glasgow are doing the reverse. It's total insanity. So I say, save America, kill the bill. Kill it here, kill it globally. Stop the G20's assault on growth and prosperity and power.